So young people are worried about their future. Climate, housing, jobs. What's your plan?
They should be worried. Let me start there. There's a lot to be worried about, both in the country and in the state of New Jersey.
Yep.
Let me start with climate, right? So where are we right now? We're in open space here in Jersey City. I actually was pivotal in building out this. This just opened. I wanted to hang out here for a little bit, so it's
gorgeous.
One of our best parks. But look, I think that I am going to be the most environmentally conscious governor in the country if I get elected. Why? A, I have a track record around this, and B, I'm passionate about it because I see the flooding issues, the climate change issues. I got a young family. I mean, I think about this stuff, and I believe in the urgency of now. And I would just say the big difference between me and some of the others is if you listen to what they say, they'll be like, I believe in all of the above approach temporarily. And my belief is that there is no such thing as a temporary all of the above approach. If you commit to natural gas, as an example, it's 5 or 6 years to build the infrastructure, and then you're going to use it for 50 or 60 years. So like, I'm going to be dead by the time your temporary bridge is over, right? And we're probably going to be underwater by then.
Right.
So like,
the temporary is
it's not, there's
gone.
No such thing. It's no such thing. So I vocalize that, and I think there's things you can do to get over in the general election Jack Ciattarelli's talking point of the energy bills, because I fundamentally believe that in data center and AI infrastructure that are straining the system should be paying more. And that should be not a flat tax, it should be a tiered system. So I think you could get over that because your mom and pop will have a lower energy price, but the lean in needs to be towards solar and renewable energy. On housing, look, there's no bigger YIMBY yes in my backyard in the state of New Jersey than me. I'm passionate about housing. We've done a lot. The person who's going to be my lieutenant governor is Sheena Collum, and she is the head of the American Planning Association. She's a big advocate for housing and a big track record. And your third question was what? Affordability or transportation or education?
Jobs. Hit them all, whatever you want.
I think that the jobs are tied to transportation infrastructure. So I think New Jersey has a questionable, mediocre transportation infrastructure. I mean, we've seen it in the last 2 weeks with the airport and New Jersey Transit and the path.
It's all happening here.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. I gotta watch my language. But the reality is that I think that if you look at, let's say, Monmouth South, the transportation infrastructure in New Jersey is very, very different than it is Monmouth North. And I think that the employment opportunities for young people and housing opportunities are directly tied to whether you're able to build out the transportation infrastructure in a real way.
And for a second, I would like you to maybe talk a little bit about what's your plan for South Jersey with transportation, because we hear that a lot coming from the other Steve, but I don't really necessarily believe him.
Well, he's been there a long time. Okay. So I would say this. I would say that the fact that the Philly Inquirer endorsed the guy from the most northern part of the state, me, tells you that, you know, something about what we're trying to do, because that's not a jaded endorsement. I mean, it's an editorial board of national recognition, and they didn't do it like the lesser of evils, right? They did it of saying, this guy has showed a track record of pushing back against the establishment over 12 years, doing tough things, and transportation is key to South Jersey. I think you got to free up money, so that's the key part of it. You got to get it out of that turnpike widening. I know you've seen other candidates that you've met with talk about it, but I think it's a real issue that, first month, I'm reallocating money away from that towards infrastructure, particularly the light rail. If there's one thing I want to be synonymous with at the end of 4 years, is really building out, not just fixing New Jersey Transit where it's like the same as it was 10 years ago, is building it out, particularly in South Jersey. I want people to leave at the end of the 4 years and say, hey, like, this is the thing that he did, and I could visibly see.
I can get places now.
I can get places. So like Chris Christie, right? Say synonymous with, I don't like the guy, but pension reform and property taxes, right? And Jim McGreevey, synonymous with like some open space highlands and pinelands and insurance reform. And Bill de Blasio, if you wanted like synonymous with universal pre-K.
Yeah.
And like executives should have that sort of thing. And I don't know what Phil Murphy's last 8 years are, but I could tell you that I want to be synonymous with building out the transportation system in New Jersey. Not just fixing what's there, building it out, putting money to build it out.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I think another one that I'll just throw out here while we're talking is the Bergen part of
the light rail.
Light rail.
I mean, it's called the Hudson-Bergen light rail, but the Bergen part doesn't really exist.
So now we're going to do a quick little rapid fire.
Whatever you got.
Will you support passing the Climate Superfund Act?
Yes.
Who
would say no? Who would say no to that? Okay, go ahead.
Is natural gas clean energy?
No.
Will you commit to 100% renewable by 2035?
Yes.
Will you divest from fossil fuels? And I'll throw in another company, Tesla.
Yes. Who would say no?
There's some people who took Tesla money.
Okay, well that I know. But go ahead.
Do you support ending exclusionary zoning to build more affordable housing and housing that is affordable?
Yes.
Will you hold toxic polluters and recyclers accountable?
Yes.
Should corporations pay higher taxes to fund climate, housing, and public transit programs?
Yes.
Boom. And finally, what are you listening to right now?
What am I listening to right now? On my phone, when I work out, what do I have? I have, it's a variety. I could show you what's going on there. You have some M&M's, some Lil Wayne, some Coldplay, some country actually now I'm getting into a little bit.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of variety. It changes kind of.
You've been all around New Jersey. It's rubbing off on you?
I don't know. You know what? It's I spend a lot of time in the car. So it's like I'm literally like, let me try this. I've been trying different podcasts. Don't wait for them to offer you a turn because
they're never going to give me it.
You're never going to get it.
I tell every young person that as I travel.
You're going to wait 30 years.
Yep.
Okay, until they say you could be a council person. Yep. Okay, like you just got to push. Yep. Otherwise, you're never going to get an opportunity. Yep.